We're going to call to order the first meeting of the 2025 January 13th County Planning Commission hearing. Would you please call the roll?
Good evening. Member Borja?
Here.
Conklin?
Here.
Corona Savignano?
Here.
Devlin?
Here.
And you do have a quorum.
Outstanding. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful. Will you please provide us with the announcements?
Thank you. The county fosters public engagement during the meeting and encourages public participation, civility, and use of courteous language. The commission does not condone the use of profanity, vulgar language, gestures, or other inappropriate behavior, including personal attacks or threats directed towards any meeting participant. To make an in-person public comment, please complete a speaker request form and hand it to the clerk. Each individual will be invited to the podium to make a comment. Members of the public may send a written comment, which is distributed to the commission members and filed in the record. Contact information is optional and should be included in the meeting date and agenda off-agenda item number. Please email comments to boardclerk@saccounty.gov, and you may mail comments to 700 H Street, Suite 2450, Sacramento, California, 95814. That concludes the statement.
Thank you very much. Looks like we have one contested item on the agenda. Is staff ready for presentation?
Item number 1, PLMP 2024-00025, is a use permit and design review located at 7486 Center Parkway in the South Sacramento community. The project name is Al Farouk Mosque, and the environmental document is exempt.
And assistant planner and lead planner for this project. This is Al Farouk Mosque. The project is located at 7486 Center Parkway near the intersection of Center Parkway and East Parkway in the South Sacramento community. The parcel is currently developed with an existing worship center, 2 classrooms, and a basketball court. The project is located in the RD5 zoning district. There's a recreation club to the north and single-family residences to the south, east, and west. The request is for a use permit to allow for the redevelopment of a religious institution that will exceed 150 people in capacity in the RD5 zoning district, and a design review to determine substantial compliance with the Sacramento County countywide design guidelines. Here is the proposed site plan. Improvements include redevelopment of the parking lot, which includes new parking lot landscape planters. Please note that the parking along the north of the parcel is shared with the adjacent recreation club. They are also proposing a new 6-foot masonry wall along the west of the parking lot, adjacent to the single-family residences. Additionally, there is a wrought iron fence along the frontage. The existing 3,000 square foot building along the frontage of Center Parkway will be removed and replaced with a 6,300 square foot worship building. Here's the floor plan of the proposed worship building, which includes a men's prayer room, a women's prayer room, a foyer, a library, and offices. There's also a proposed dome, which will not have any bells or noise associated with it. With the dome, it still meets all of our development standards. Here are the proposed elevations of the mosque. The top is the elevation from the west, and underneath is the elevation to the east, and on the bottom are the elevations to the north and south. The design aligns with the culture of the mosque. Here is the proposed landscape plan. The project includes detached sidewalks along the frontage with new landscaping, as well as new landscaping throughout the parking lot as well. The project went to the Design Review Advisory Committee on September 26, 2024, and recommends the Planning Commission find the project in substantial compliance with design guidelines. The project also went to the South Sacramento CPAC on October 30th, 2024, where they heard the project. Due to a lack of quorum, there was no formal recommendation provided. The project is consistent with the General Plan, Zoning Code, and Community Plan. It's compatible with surrounding zoning and land uses, and the environmental determination is exempt. Planning and Environmental Review staff recommends the Planning Commission take the following actions: recognize the exempt status of the request under Section 15302 of the California Environmental Quality Act, approve the use permit subject to findings and conditions, and find the project in substantial compliance with design guidelines subject to findings and conditions. That will conclude my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions, and the applicant team is present as well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Any questions for staff by those here on the dais? No? All right. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to invite the applicant, if they so choose, to provide comments.
And Chairperson Conklin, I will have to swear in anyone who gives public comment and the applicant team if they'd like to comment.
Understood.
Hello. I'll have to swear you in. And if anyone is going to make a public comment on this item, I will ask that you stand now and take the oath, please.
Oh, I'm the applicant.
Correct. And you will still need to take the oath as well as anybody who gives public comment. I believe there was one person signed up to make public comment. Oh, thank you. If you wish to address the commission about this item on the agenda, please stand and be sworn. Please raise your right hand, and the appropriate response is I do. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give this board is the truth, so help you God? If you do not swear, do you so affirm?
Me?
Yes, both of you. Thank you. When you go to the podium, please state your name for the record and the statement, I have been sworn. Thank you.
May Brave.
And you have been sworn.
Pardon me?
And you have been sworn.
And I have.
And you'll state, I have been sworn.
Oh, I have been sworn.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, please.
No, I'm just saying, I don't know if sworn in. It was really good working with the county, going through this cup. I like it how it was streamlined, and you told me what to do, and Austin really did a good job in giving me a paper that I could, follow what I have to do for the planning and for the design review and for the civil improvements. And it was, instead of, I went through another, the city. And instead of you give it to me all at once, which I like, instead of I turn it in and they give it back and they don't tell me anything, what they're asking for, and I'm trying to guess, and they just keep piecemealing it together. And I like the way you do it, that you give it to me all at once, and it's written down, and I could follow it. And it makes it really easier instead of having it come back several times. So I appreciate the county in helping me. So that's it.
Oh, thank you very much. Any questions for the applicant? No? All right, thank you very much. At this time, I see one request from Mr. Skip Hatch. Is that correct? Yes. To address item 1, if you'd like to come in and provide some testimony, we're going to allow you to have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Skip Hatch. I've been duly sworn. I just want to make comment in regards to our neighbors. I'm speaking on behalf of Parkway Swimming Club, which is right to the north, and we share the parking lot. And I just want to say they're great neighbors. They've always done everything above board as far as I've seen, and have bent over backwards to accommodate us when we have a swim meet or something like that. They open up their whole parking lot and have been very accommodating that way. So I just wanted to just comment that they're good neighbors, they're good to work with, and have gone above and beyond regarding the parking, because it is, the amount of parking is not substantial for our facility, but they've allowed us to use their parking, above and beyond. So that's mainly what I wanted to present, is they've been good neighbors, and we've been able to communicate well from my perspective, and just want to make sure everyone was aware of that.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, appreciate that. Normally, we allow the applicant to provide rebuttal. I don't know if that is necessary. Is there any other individuals that wanted to speak on behalf of the agenda item? No? All right. Then we will close public hearing and we'll kick it off to members of the commission for deliberation.
I can go ahead.
No, please.
I can take a first stab. I think that the application is pretty straightforward. I'm glad to hear that there's positive feedback with the neighbors. I think the staff did a wonderful job at presenting the project, and I'd be more than happy to move the item and follow staff recommendation.
I'd be happy to make a second to that motion.
Any comments? All right, we have a motion and we have a second. Clerk, will you call the vote?
And that's a motion by Member Borja and a second by Member Devlin. Borja?
Yes.
Conklin?
Yes.
Corona Savignano?
Yes.
And Devlin?
Yes.
And the motion carries with those members present.
Wonderful. Looks like the next item is the planning director's report.
Actually, item number 2, I will need to take a motion to continue the item to February 24th. This is a conditional use permit, special development permit, and design review, the Yeshi Arden Apartments. And so if you could please make a motion to continue the item to February 24th.
Someone would like to make a motion?
I would go ahead and move that we continue that item to February 24th. Is that the correct date?
Second.
All right.
Okay. Commissioner Borja?
Yes.
Conklin?
Yes.
Corona Savignano?
Yes.
And Devlin?
Yes.
And the motion carries to continue the item to February 24th. Thank you.
Appreciate the clarity there. Looks like now we're on the planning director's report.
All right, good evening, commissioners. You will see, obviously, you are still 4 members. There was a board hearing last week. The new supervisor, Rodriguez, District 4, asked to continue the appointment of a new commissioner until the second meeting in January. So I'm hoping that that will result in a new commissioner in very short order. Stay tuned. Second thing I wanted to cover tonight, last meeting I mentioned we have a new principal planner in our current planning group. Today, he is here. Matt Diaz. Matt, sorry to put you on the spot. Would you like to say anything?
Just happy to be here.
You'll be seeing more of Matt.
Wonderful.
Welcome.
Welcome, Matt.
And that concludes my report tonight. Pretty short.
One question I recall in our last meeting, there was an invitation or at least a discussion about either an academy of some sort or something with new laws, and wanted to see if that has been scheduled.
So the in-house training we were going to do is still in process. It hasn't been scheduled yet, but stay tuned. And thank you for reminding me about the academy. We are, hopefully, all of you have been contacted by our admin staff to get confirmation of those registrations for everybody who is available to participate in that. We have worked out a solution for the logistics of all the booking. It's a little bit confusing working in the county system, so we appreciate your patience.
All right, wonderful. And that brings us to miscellaneous scheduling items.
I did want to announce that currently we have one project possibly scheduled for the 27th of January, but I'm still waiting from planning staff to confirm that. We may not have a meeting, so. I know that I did receive attendance from one of the members already, so saying they were unable to attend, so.
And that moves us to public comments, and it looks like we have one speaker, Chad Nunez, who is requesting to make comments in front of the commission. Please.
Good afternoon, members of the Commission. I'm Chad Nunes, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today about this off-agenda topic. It may sound a bit unconventional, but I'm here for input on the ability to obtain a temporary use permit on the ability to host a small mammal companion racing event. This family-friendly event is mostly consisted of pet hamsters and gerbils, especially trained to race inside safely enclosed exercise balls on a drag racing style track. Betting or gambling of any kind is strictly prohibited, and 100% of ticket proceeds are donated to local animal shelters. A voluntary veterinarian will be on site to provide supervision and educate attendees about responsible pet care. And previous events drew in crowds of 250 plus people and raised over $250,000. And we want to ensure future events adhere to all county regulations. So how do we get this ball rolling? And specifically, what environmental considerations does the county prioritize when approving temporary use permits such as this? And I'll open up to any questions.
All right. Any questions?
You need a permit?
That was my understanding, but if I don't, then is it not, I guess.
Is it for the gathering or for the animals or for both?
Mostly for the gathering, just to ensure permits for parking and any type of sanitation.
Okay.
So from staff's perspective, we can work directly with, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Chad Nunes.
Chad, and figure out all the logistics, what the details of the use permit are, temporary use permit it sounds like, but we're happy to work with you on that.
Perfect. And really, I mean, that's, appreciate the guidance as we get this project across the finish line. So
All right. The ball is rolling.
The ball
is rolling, exactly. Thank you.
Well, wonderful. I'm glad we're able to connect you with staff to bridge that gap.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Well, I believe that concludes our agenda, and we are now adjourned at 5:47.